Hey guys, Josh here with JJ's Custom Auto Repair. Just wanted to do another quick video like the other day. The e-brake video seemed to be pretty popular, so I thought I'd shoot another one here. We're servicing the differential on this 75 260Z, and I just thought I'd give you guys a quick tip. This could go for any car really. This doesn't have to just be the Z cars. It could be rear end or it could be manual transmission. It's just something I've learned with my experience with older cars for sure. When you are servicing the differential or transmission that has a drain plug and a fill plug, what I always like to do, just to see and make sure that I'm not going to get myself in a really big pickle or bind, I always like to take the drain plug out first, and then I'll take the I like to take the fill plug out first, and then I'll take the drain plug out. The reason behind this is you don't want to drain all the fluid out just to find out that someone has stripped out or broken, or maybe you can't get it out, the fill plug out, because then you're stuck, you know. And if you're trying to do this on a Saturday or something like that, and you're thinking, I'll just service the diff fluid or the transmission fluid real quick because I've got a couple hours to spare, it may turn into a lot longer job. So the purpose behind this is, if you get the fill plug out, you know that all you got to do is get the drain plug out, and you know that you can put fluid back in it. Versus if you pull the drain plug out and then you find out that the fill plug's stripped, or you're not able to get it out, or it's seized and you may have to pull the whole unit, then your hour job may turn into a really long job. So it's just kind of something that you may want to look at, and just a tip that I've learned the hard way, that I always do the fill plug first, and then I'll take the drain plug loose, especially if it's something older like this car. And as far as the Z's go, a lot of people think that you have to remove this bar here to be able to get to the fill plug. I find if you take a breaker bar with a swivel head like this one, it is still difficult and it's not the most fun thing, but you can take it and come up in here, and then there's kind of a little gap right here, and it is difficult to do, but you can get it wiggled in, and get it wiggled in right here, and then get it loose. It's still kind of a pain, but it sure beats having to pull all this. Like this one right now, I've got broke loose finally, so it's just finger tight and comes right out. As far as filling it back up, you will have to get a fill pump to get the fluid back into the diff, and whoo, this one's pretty full. And a general rule, one, is to make sure that the diff is empty before you pull that and spill it all over yourself on camera. Two, that's about how you want it as far as fluid level goes. Maybe not that full where it's just violently pouring out, but when you go to fill it up, you want it to where it's starting to drip out. That is full on these. You also want to make sure you're on a level surface and not on an angle. Being where the back is higher than the rear, you may run into too much fluid, and you'll see it come out of the vent tube. If it's the other way, it may not have enough fluid. It may cause noise or premature wear. So for now, that's it, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns, let me know below. I'm going to go get all this rear end fluid off of me and get this thing drained. See you guys. Okay guys, I kind of lied, so I'm going to make a second part to this video. If you watched the first half of this video, which if you've gotten here, obviously you have, I told you had to have a pump. Oh, let me get down here. For these 280Zs or 260Zs or 240Zs, whatever you're working on. But I'm going to show you a way that we do it without having to have the pump. It's a little slower, I think. And I do have a pump somewhere around here, but instead of trying to find it and look for it and all that, this way always works. Basically what you do is just take some old hose that you're not going to use anymore. I think this is some like vacuum line off some car. And you just want to slide it down over the top of this. Now you don't want to make this opening too big, because then it won't slide down. It's just kind of difficult to do with one hand, so you may just have to take the visual representation of it. Now there it goes. Alright, now this one I've already got stuck up in there, but for showing you, we'll just take this one. It just slides right in there to the filler spot. You want to make sure you get it kind of in there. Where does it slide out? And now you can turn the bottle upside down and squeeze it. And as you squeeze the fluid, it goes up and into the rear end. The only downside of this is it is slower. You can't really squeeze this thing too hard, or else you'll blow the end of the line off and you'll have fluid everywhere. And then since it is lower than the diff, after you get done squeezing for a while, the bottle will kind of collapse, and you got to wait a second and let it to suck air back in it so you can start squeezing again. But this much vacuum line or fuel line or whatever you have laying around would literally cost you about 23 cents versus the pump, I think, is, even at Harbor Freight, I think like $4. Yeah, it's probably worth it to get the pump, and like I said, I've got one somewhere. But if you're going to do transmission fluid and differential fluid, you're going to need two different ones. So when you're looking at $10 there. If you're just a DIY person that's just doing it at their house, that's just starting on this, you may not want to spend $5 for a pump like that. And this way you don't have to. You can just get some old vacuum line. Just make sure it's not cracked or dry rotted or anything like that. I grabbed one off an intake manifold earlier, and it was dry rotted, and it fluid went everywhere as soon as I put any kind of pressure behind it. So make sure it's a good hose. Even if not, what you can do is when you pick up your fluid from your local parts store, just go ahead and see if you can't get a piece of hose to match, and get like a foot and a half, something like that. I think they charge by the foot, so might as well just get 2 feet. This stuff's like 23 cents a foot. So, and there you go. That's how you fill it. So I thought I'd share that with you guys after I realized I told you had to have the pump on these. It is not true. It just makes life a little easier. So for now, that's it, guys. Peace.